So, Elena chose Damon. Do they have any chance of happily ever after? What do you say?
I don't think anybody on the show gets to live
in like season, 17, yeah, no. Of course, actually, Caroline can attest to this too, but one of the things that people always say is that there's no conflict, and there's no drama and happiness, and yet I, as a television fan, sometimes have watched shows, and just off the top of my head, Grey's Anatomy, when like Meredith and Derek are happy. I was so into it, and it was so fun. So one of the things that we decided to do this year was to try to keep them happy for a while, as long, in the midst of all the bad things around them that are, trying to tear them apart. So we'll see how well we do with that.
Ian, how did you feel finding out that you were going to be the choice?
I thought they were joking. Damon never gets the girl. It's always. Yeah, but you got that whole thing, man. You got that what thing? James Dean kind of. What are you talking
Dude, torture. Don't underplay your sexy blue eyes.
The tortured poet whole thing.
Don't downplay the smolder holder.
It's good. It's mixing it up. I think Nina has a very tough job. Dealing with these two boys. Stefan and Damon.
Someone's got to do it.
Yeah. So it's again, but it is Mystic Falls, and essentially you can't be that happy for that long. So there's always got to be some kind of drama. But it's cool. It's cool to see. It's cool to see the interaction because Damon is this guy that ultimately has the same look on his face whether he's like saving a kid out of a tree or ripping your face off. So to see the interaction between he and Elena is really cute. He's sort of smitten and sweet and
It's the honeymoon phase.
Yeah. It's the honeymoon phase.
Well, enjoy, buddy, because I did it for 3 years. And it gets exhausting. I'm so glad I'm playing Silas. I'm so glad I didn't get the girl. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm kidding. I like being evil. I'm sorry. I do. Alright. Sorry.
So speaking of evil.
Oh no, I love working with you. No. I love you. I do love you. No, I just like being evil, but I love you.
I love that line. Everyone, this is the word. This is the line of the day. I love being evil, but I love you.
So speaking of evil, how did you find out you were going to be playing 2 characters?
Well, Julie, you actually told me early on and swore me to secrecy, and
you lied to me for all these months.
I know, I can't trust me. So yeah, I found Julie told me. I think it's fantastic because I always wanted to revisit the Ripper years, and again, but I felt like we already did that. So this is another yeah. If only you could say I'm Joseph Morgan.
If I can't say I'm Joseph Morgan, I attempted and I failed miserably.
Yeah, Silas is much more polite too when he's feeding on people.
He's very polite. He doesn't rip their heads off. He's very calm about it. Something soothing about him feeding on you.
So is Silas and Stefan, or Stefan and Silas, going to be the big bad of the next season?
Guys, you tell me.
Sorry, I was distracted by smolder pants over here.
I'm just showing, there's blood on my arm from set this morning because we were working until 6:30 this morning and we flew here. I showed Julie, she goes, oh, dear God. I thought I was bleeding. It was fake, and I just realized it's going to look a little weird.
I was worried that I was going to miss my flight coming in to Comic-Con because we were shooting so late, and we had blood. I'm not going to say where, for what reason, but there was blood, and I was going to keep it on and maybe try to go through security. He's coming after me, please! He's coming. And then I realized that people have camera phones, so that would have been a bad idea.
Yeah. Nina Dobra missing from Vampire Diaries panel because she's being held and detained by the FBI in Atlanta, Georgia.
It would have made for a great interview story, though.
So
what was the question?
That's what I'm here for. Is Silas and Stefan, the new doppelganger, going to be the big bad for the new season?
I think so. I'll take that. What? No?
I mean, you know,
Ooh, I hear
the big
hesitation.
bad rarely like launches the season. The big bad sometimes gets vanquished or effed with by a bigger bad.
What?
Yeah,
Nobody better than that.
maybe not.
This is unbelievable. It never ends. It's when you think you're at the top of the food chain. Whatever.
And speaking of past big bads, how's Catherine going to face this reality of not being human anymore? Nina, do you want to talk about that?
It's not going to be good for her. She's going to, I mean, Catherine's identity, everything that she's been doing, she's been hiding behind this facade and using vampirism as an advantage and to manipulate people to get what she wants. And now that she doesn't have that advantage, she's going to be lost and weak and insecure.
And really good. I love seeing her
It's so
humbled
good.
and like ratty and, you know, it's awesome.
What's the line about the green phlegm, Caroline? Something like,
Yes, Catherine gets a cold, and she has green phlegm.
Yeah.
I don't know what the line is, but.
Yeah, no, she goes, she's kind of embarrassed about it. She says,
Wait, she like whispers it to Matt. She needs medicine.
yeah, just like she gets cold. She says, I just read this
she's like,
yesterday.
I
No, she
survived
goes,
childbirth, 500 years of fun.
yeah, and then she goes, now it's just like, when I cough, it's green. She's so embarrassed about it. She didn't know what to do with it.
Okay, now I have to do it like that. It's green. Now I have a line right now.
Yeah, Catherine's like the best vampire and just the worst human.
Yeah. So it's going to be tough. It's going to take a lot of getting used to, and she can't compel herself free clothes anymore. So what will she wear? Really?
Nothing.
I mean,
Nah.
so that's a pretty big tragedy for her.
And is Elena going to be going off to college?
Yes.
College.
College.
Why are we pursuing higher education? Like,
How did they get
we're
to
all
higher
murderers.
education? They never-
Like, steal whatever we want. Why are we studying?
Paul, you're setting a really crappy example.
Well, I'm just saying.
You have an eternity to live. Why not take an extra 4, 6, or 8 years and learn something?
What are you talking about?
Yes,
You know everything.
education.
Because Caroline likes to throw parties.
You can't throw parties at college. It's all people do.
But I want to know, what are they majoring in? I actually had to ask you that question. How do they get to college? They never went to school.
Vampires never have to worry about money, college admissions, high school attendance, or other things, because they can just compel themselves whatever they want. Want to go to Harvard? It can be done.
Right. Everything from panties to Harvard. You can get it.
Go say it, man.
So Candace, what does college life mean for Caroline?
Like you said, I think parties. She's pretty determined to get Tyler to college so they can finally be together since Klaus is gone.
That's not going to play well with this.
I don't know.
Yeah.
No, Tyler, Caroline? Okay, wrong crowd.
Can you really picture Klaus showing up in Caroline's dorm room?
I think a lot of ladies.
Caroline, groovy lava lamp. No, yeah, Caroline's really excited to go to college. I think it's going to be really fun. I really love going into season 5 with this really fun energy and the idea of these vampire girls having to live in a human world. They can't get by with the same tricks they pulled in Mystic Falls. That's all.
That's all they do.
Are they going to be making new friends in college?
They could be making some new friends in college. There's plenty of friends to be made.
New male friends?
There are men in college. This is not an all-girls school. Some of them might be attractive. So,
Does
No,
Tyler
it's
need to go?
CW. We don't do that.
They don't do that.
revolutionary. It's the first time in CW history that there will be attractive men on the series. Scandalous. So yeah, there will be some apples to be picked.
Yeah, but we shoot in Georgia. Why not peaches?
Yeah, peaches.
Damon loves his peaches, we know that.
Will Elena be picking some apples too?
She's in a committed love.
Depends what you mean by apples.
She has enough apples?
I mean, is there anyone that she hasn't made out with? Maybe reach out.
Give me your number, buddy. I'll set you up.